Hey, coin collectors and enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting stories in the world of numismatics in the 1977 Lincoln penny. At first glance, this may seem like just another ordinary penny, but some 1977 pennies can be worth an absolute fortune. You might be shocked to learn that certain 1977 Lincoln pennies are worth up to $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, at one penny. $1.4 million. Curious? Let's break down the history, the errors, and the incredible value of these coins. The basics of the Lincoln penny. Let's start with a quick refresher on the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny was introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design has featured the famous bust of Lincoln on the obverse side, created by Victor David Brenner. The reverse of the coin traditionally depicted the Lincoln Memorial, though this changed in 2009 to honor the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth with a new design. By the time the 1977 Lincoln penny was minted, the coin had been in circulation for nearly 70 years. The composition of the 1977 penny was still primarily copper, as it was before the U.S. Mint transitioned to the copper-plated zinc variety in the mid-1980s. But it's not the composition that makes the 1977 penny special. It's some very rare errors that have turned certain coins from this year into major treasures. Why some 1977 pennies are worth so much. So, why are certain 1977 Lincoln pennies worth such astronomical amounts of money? The answer lies in a few key factors: rare minting errors and the incredible rarity of those errors. Over the years, the U.S. Mint has produced millions of pennies, but occasionally, something goes wrong in the production process, creating a unique coin that's highly sought after by collectors. 1. The 1977 double die obverse. One of the most famous and valuable errors to come from the 1977 penny is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts or is misaligned, resulting in a doubling effect on the design. The 1977 double die obverse error is especially noticeable on the lettering, particularly the word Liberty and the date 1977. If you examine a 1977 penny and see a noticeable doubling effect on these areas, you may have found a coin worth thousands of dollars or more. These double die coins are highly sought after by collectors because of their unique appearance, and some examples have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. In mint condition, they can fetch as much as $1.4 million. 2. The 1977 no mint mark penny. Another interesting variation of the 1977 Lincoln penny is the no mint mark error. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but some 1977 pennies produced in Philadelphia were inadvertently struck with no mint mark, even though they should have carried one. These coins are very rare, and because of the scarcity, they can fetch high prices from collectors looking for unique pieces to add to their collections. While this error doesn't carry as high of a value as the double die obverse penny, it can still be worth hundreds of dollars, depending on its condition. The 1977 YDM reverse. Now, let's talk about another valuable error that can be found on the 1977 Lincoln penny, the YDM reverse. This error occurs when the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse of the penny are spaced too far apart. Normally, the A and M should be relatively close together, but in the case of the YDM reverse, the letters appear noticeably separated. This error is a result of a die misalignment during the minting process. YDM reverses are highly coveted by coin collectors, and depending on their grade, they can be worth several $100s, or more in certain cases. The rarest of these coins can even sell for thousands. How to identify a valuable 1977 penny. If you're wondering how to identify a valuable 1977 penny, here are some key tips. 1. Look for double die errors. The double die obverse is one of the most famous errors from this year. If you see any doubling in the inscriptions, especially on Liberty or 1977, you've found something potentially valuable. 2. Check the reverse for YDM. Take a close look at the reverse side of your 1977 pennies. If the A and M in America are spaced far apart, You may have a wide AM reverse penny. 3. Examine the mint mark, or lack of one. While pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, a 1977 penny with no mint mark, and should have one, is rare and can be worth a good amount. 4. Assess the condition. As with any collectible coin, the condition is critical. Coins that are well preserved, without scratches, wear, or discoloration, are worth far more than those in poor condition. High-grade coins, especially those graded as MS65 or higher, can fetch impressive amounts at auction. The history of the 1977 penny. Now, let's step back and take a look at the 1977 penny's historical context. The year 1977 was a significant period in the history of U.S. coinage. The economy of the United States was going through a transition, and the country was experiencing a period of high inflation, which led to increased demand for coinage. This period marked the last years of the classic copper penny before the mint would switch to a copper-plated zinc composition in the following decades. The 1977 penny, like many other coins from this era, was mass-produced to meet the growing demand for currency. The errors that occurred during this time are mostly the result of rushed minting processes to meet these demands, and because these errors were produced in limited quantities, they have become highly sought after today. Where to find a valuable 1977 penny? You might be wondering, how do I find one of those rare 1977 pennies? Well, the answer is simply start checking your change. Yes, that's right, take a look through your pocket change or go through rolls of pennies. You never know what you might find. Keep an eye out for any of the errors we've discussed, either whether it's the double die obverse, the wide AM reverse, or a rare no mint mark penny. If you do find a potentially valuable 1977 penny, it's worth getting it professionally graded. A certified coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC, can determine its exact grade and value, which is essential if you plan to sell it or add it to your collection. Conclusion. So, there you have it, your guide to the incredible 1977 Lincoln penny. While it may look like just another regular penny, certain 1977 pennies are worth a fortune due to minting errors like the double die obverse, the wide AM reverse, and even the rare no mint mark error. Some of these coins have been sold for as much as $1.4 million, making them true treasures for coin collectors. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And remember, the next time you're digging through your spare change, you might just discover a fortune hiding in plain sight. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. And screen. Like, subscribe for more coin collecting tips. Check out our other videos on rare coins and valuable finds. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or coin. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a story about a seemingly ordinary penny from 1978, but don't be fooled, as some of these pennies are worth a whole lot of money. In fact, certain 1978 Lincoln pennies can fetch as much as $1.6 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stick with me as we break down why this particular penny could be worth a fortune, the history behind it, and how you can find one yourself. Let's dive in. The basics of the Lincoln penny. Let's start with a quick overview of the Lincoln penny. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, the Lincoln penny became the first U.S. coin to feature a president. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin's obverse features a portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse originally depicted the Lincoln Memorial. This design remained in place until 2009, when a new reverse design was introduced to commemorate Lincoln's bicentennial. Now, by the time we get to 1978, the Lincoln penny had already been around for decades. The penny from this year, like others in the late 20th century, was made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. While the composition remained mostly unchanged, something unusual happened at the mint in 1978 that resulted in a valuable era coin, one that would eventually be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. But what is it about the 1978 Lincoln penny that makes it so rare? Why some 1978 pennies are worth so much? So, what exactly makes some 1978 Lincoln pennies worth up to $1.6 million? The answer lies in a rare minting error that occurred in 1978. As we know, most coins go through a die stamping process at the U.S. Mint, where the design is impressed onto the coin using metal dies. Occasionally, the dies that strike the coins can be misaligned, worn out, or even damaged, resulting in coins with noticeable errors. The 1978 penny is one of those coins that contains a significant error, making it incredibly valuable to collectors. 1. The 1978 double die obverse. The main reason why some 1978 pennies are worth so much is due to a double die obverse error. This error happens when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned or shifts during the minting process. The result is a coin with a double design, which can be especially noticeable in the inscriptions on the obverse, most commonly in the word liberty and the date 1978. The doubling effect is typically subtle, but it's there. If you look closely at the coin, you might see the letters and numbers appear slightly offset, creating a blurry or doubled appearance. Collectors absolutely love these double die coins because they're so unique and rare. In the case of the 1978 Lincoln penny, finding one with this error in mint condition can drive the value up dramatically, sometimes reaching as high as $1.6 million at auction. 2. The role of the mint mark and the D on the coin. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. The 1978 penny is special because it was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark. While most of the 1978 pennies came from Philadelphia and don't have a mint mark, the 1978 penny is the one that is particularly valuable due to the error. The D mint mark itself isn't what makes the coin rare, but when the double die error appears on a 1978 penny, it makes the coin even more valuable, because it was minted in Denver. Fewer of these 1978 double die obverse pennies were made compared to their Philadelphia counterparts, which only adds to their rarity and demand among collectors. 3. The condition of the coin. Just like with any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its value. A 1978 penny in pristine condition can be worth significantly more than one that's been worn down or damaged over the years. If you happen to find a 1978 penny with a noticeable double die error that is well preserved with little wear, you could be looking at a truly valuable coin. Coins are graded based on their condition, and the higher the grade, the higher the value. For example, a coin that's graded as MS65 or above, mint state, showing only minimal signs of wear, is worth far more than a coin in lower grades. A high-quality 1978 double die penny could easily fetch hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, depending on the quality and clarity of the error. How to identify a valuable 1978 penny. Now that you know what makes the 1978 Lincoln penny so valuable, let's talk about how to identify one if you come across it. Here's how you can check your pennies for a possible 1978 double die obverse. 1. Examine the obverse. Start by carefully looking at the obverse of the coin, specifically the word liberty and the year 1978. If you notice any doubling or a blurry, shifted appearance, you might have found a double die error. 2. Check the mint mark. Look closely at the D mint mark located below the date. This indicates that the penny was minted in Denver. If your coin has the D mint mark and shows signs of the double die error, it's worth checking out further. 3. Use magnification. Sometimes, the doubling can be hard to see with the naked eye. Using a magnifying glass or a loupe can help you spot the subtle signs of doubling on the letters and numbers. 4. Check the condition. As mentioned earlier, condition is crucial. Coins that are well preserved and show minimal signs of wear are much more valuable than coins that are heavily circulated. Be sure to inspect the coin carefully to see if it's in excellent condition. 5. Get it graded. If you think you've found a 1978 double die penny, The next step is to get it professionally graded. Professional grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can assess the coin's quality and give it an official grade, which will help determine its value. The history of the 1978D penny. Before we wrap up, let's take a quick look at the 1978D penny's place in history. By 1978, the U.S. Mint had already been minting Lincoln pennies for decades. The 1970s were an era of economic change, with inflation and the gradual rise of the cost of living. In fact, the 1978 penny was one of the last years to be made from a high copper content, as the mint would soon switch to the copper-plated zinc composition in the 1980s due to the rising cost of copper. In 1978, the U.S. economy was experiencing a time of growth, but coin production still had to deal with some inconsistencies and errors, which is where the 1978D double-die penny comes in. While most of these coins are relatively common, the errors are extremely rare and sought after, especially by serious collectors. Where to find a valuable 1978D penny? So, how can you find one of these rare and valuable 1978D double-die pennies? Start by looking through your loose change or rolls of pennies. You never know what you might find. Be sure to inspect every 1978D penny you come across carefully for the telltale signs of the double-die obverse. You can also check out online coin auctions, estate sales, or visit local coin shops to look for these rare pieces. Keep in mind, finding a well-preserved 1978D double-die penny with clear doubling can be a challenge, but it's not impossible. If you do find one, get it professionally graded to determine its true value. Conclusion. And that's everything you need to know about the 1978D Lincoln penny and why it could be worth up to $1.6 million. The double-die obverse on this penny is what makes it so valuable, and finding one in excellent condition could mean a huge payday for collectors. So, the next time you're going through your change or hunting for rare coins, keep your eyes peeled for a 1978D penny with a double design. You might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coin collecting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Who knows, the next rare penny you find could make you a fortune. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. And screen. Like, subscribe for more coin collecting tips and rare coin discoveries. Check out our other videos on valuable coins and tips on finding hidden treasures. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or have any questions about coin collecting. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a penny that might seem ordinary at first glance, the 2004 Lincoln penny. But believe it or not, this seemingly simple coin has been known to fetch up to $1.1 million at auction. That's right, a penny worth just 1 cent could be worth a small fortune, depending on its rarity and condition. Stick with me as we uncover why the 2004 Lincoln penny is so valuable, the history behind it, and how you might just have one of these rare pennies in your collection. Let's jump in. The basics of the Lincoln penny. First, let's take a quick refresher on the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, and for the first time in U.S. history, a president's image was featured on a coin. The penny became a staple of U.S. currency and is still in circulation today, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in history. From its inception, the Lincoln penny has gone through several design changes, but the basic theme of honoring Abraham Lincoln has remained constant. Throughout the years, the reverse of the penny has depicted various designs, so first the wheat ears, then the Lincoln Memorial, and later, in 2009, the Union Shield design. The 2004 Lincoln penny, though, is part of a very special series. So what makes it so valuable? Why some 2004 Lincoln pennies are worth so much? Now, let's talk about why some 2004 Lincoln pennies can be worth so much money. The 2004 penny itself isn't rare in terms of circulation. There are billions of them out there. However, Some specific errors and rare conditions have turned certain 2004 Lincoln pennies into highly sought-after collector's items. 1. The 2004 double-die obverse. The most significant error found on the 2004 Lincoln penny is the double-die obverse, which is a type of minting mistake that occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts or is misaligned during the production process. The result, a doubled image on the coin, which can be particularly noticeable on the date 2004 and the word Liberty. When you find a 2004 penny with this error, you'll notice that the letters and numbers are doubled. This doubling can be subtle, but it's usually visible under magnification. The most valuable of these errors are those with clear, pronounced doubling. A double die obverse is a highly coveted error among coin collectors, and if the coin is in good condition, it could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even over $1 million. 2. The 2004 D mint mark. The 2004 Lincoln penny was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, and the D mint mark indicates that the coin was produced in Denver. While most 2004 pennies come from Philadelphia and are unmarked, those with the D mint mark are more valuable, especially if they feature a rare error like the double die obverse. The presence of the mint mark is not enough to make a penny valuable on its own, but when you find a 2004 penny with the D mint mark and the double die error, it significantly increases the rarity of the coin. These D mint mark double die pennies are harder to find than their Philadelphia counterparts, which means they can demand higher prices from collectors. 3. The condition of the coin. As with any collectible, the condition of the coin is a crucial factor in determining its value. A 2004 Lincoln penny that is in excellent condition will be worth much more than one that has been heavily circulated or damaged. The most valuable 2004 pennies are those that are well preserved with little to no wear and tear. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A coin that's graded as MS65 or higher, mint state, meaning it's almost in perfect condition, could easily be worth significantly more than a coin in lower grades. In some cases, a pristine 2004 penny with the double die error has sold for as much as $1.1 million. How to identify a valuable 2004 Lincoln penny. So, how can you tell if you've got a valuable 2004 Lincoln penny? It all comes down to identifying those key features. Here's how you can spot a rare, potentially high-value 2004 penny. 1. Examine the double die error. Look closely at the obverse of the coin, particularly the date 2004 and the word Liberty. If you notice that these letters or numbers appear doubled or blurry, it could be a double die error. Use magnification if needed, as the doubling can sometimes be subtle. 2. Look for the mint mark. If your coin has a D mint mark, it means it was minted in Denver. While not all 2004 pennies with a D mint mark are valuable, those with a double die error are much rarer and more valuable than their Philadelphia counterparts. 3. Check the condition. Inspect the penny carefully for any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. A coin in excellent condition with no visible damage will be much more valuable than one that's been heavily circulated. Pay attention to the surface of the coin and look for any imperfections. 4. Get the coin graded. If you think you've found a rare 2004 penny with the double die error, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, will assess the condition of the coin and assign it a grade, which will help determine its value. The history of the 2004 Lincoln penny. Now, let's take a quick look at the historical context of the 2004 Lincoln penny. The year 2004 marked an important moment in the history of the U.S. Mint's efforts to honor Abraham Lincoln. In 2004, the penny design was part of the series that celebrated the 195th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The reverse of the penny still featured the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which had been part of the design since 1959. The 2004 penny is significant because it was part of the final years when the mint used a higher percentage of copper in its coins. This composition would eventually change in 1982 due to rising copper prices. But the 2004 penny is one of the last of its kind to be made with a traditional copper content. Where to find a valuable 2004 Lincoln penny? If you're hoping to find a rare 2004 Lincoln penny with a double die error, there are a few places you can look. Start by checking your loose change, as many collectors have found valuable coins simply by going through their everyday pennies. You can also try purchasing rolls of 2004 pennies from local coin shops or online sellers to increase your chances of finding a rare one. Online auction sites and coin dealers are also great places to find high-value 2004 pennies. Keep an eye on these platforms for opportunities to buy rare coins or sell one you found. Remember, getting the coin professionally graded will help you determine its true value. Conclusion. And that's a wrap on the incredible 2004 Lincoln penny. While most 2004 pennies are just worth 1 cent, some rare ones with minting errors like the double die obverse can be worth up to $1.1 million. If you're lucky enough to find one of those coins in excellent condition, you could be holding onto a small fortune. So, next time you're going through your change or hunting for rare coins, keep an eye out for those 2004 pennies with doubled letters or numbers. You never know, you could be the lucky owner of a coin worth far more than its face value. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tips on coin collecting. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin, and happy hunting. And screen like, subscribe for more coin collecting tips and rare coin discoveries. Check out our other videos on valuable coins and how to spot errors. Leave a comment below if you've ever come across a rare 2004 penny or other valuable coins.